Sometimes old things really do lose a lot of their former charm, and people's thoughts on a certain topic can be subject to change. After playing a lot of Team Fortress 2 competitive for a while, a lot of things in my mind have been shifted and twisted into new ideas that I personally find more interesting, and I think my own views on the classes and competitive type has changed the most for me. I'd really like to take a deeper look into why I've just changed as much as I have. It may be best to start with a more simplistic topic, that being what class I've decided to play. I've chosen to start playing Soldier more, and more specifically, the Roamer Soldier. Don't know what that is, don't worry, we'll come right back to that. But first, I want to explain why I've decided to start playing as everyone's favorite bazooka man. Recently, I began to lose interest with playing Engineer, and I'm not talking about in the mess that is this game's casual mode, I'm referring to competitive Team Fortress 2. More specifically, Highlander, UGC. I've played on many teams where I've exclusively played the Engineer, and for a while it was fun, but after a certain time, I found that I'd become bored of playing the Engineer, and more interesting classes had definitely become a focus for me. Now I'm definitely going to upset some people by saying this, but almost every Sixes class takes more mechanical skill to play than the Engineer. Medic and Demo are a given, but for a class like the Scout, the high mobility asks a lot out of him by force thrusting him into situations where he either has to fight and win, or simply die. Soldier has a similar story, but for the Roamer, it's more of a one-way ticket. Compare this to the Engineer, and we'll see that he only needs to build up his tools, supporting his team with dispensers and teleporters. While his sentry gun is a powerful tool, his main objective is simply to bring the game to a halt and keep the other team from advancing. While he can perform as a battle engineer and fill a similar role to that of the Scout but with the ability to build a mini sentry, he still lacks what makes the classes like Soldier and Scout interesting. Keep in mind, I'm not comparing these two to see who does a better job. I'm comparing their playstyle to see which I personally prefer. Perhaps a better issue to highlight my point with the Engineer is the competitive scene. For a while, the competitive meta for Sixes has landed on 2 Scouts, 2 Soldiers, a Demo, and a Medic. There are 2 versions of the Soldier, one being the Pocket, who sticks close and defends the Medic. And then there's the Roamer, who's nearly the polar opposite. His job is either to distract, force, or simply kill the enemy combo outright. On the other side of competitive, you have Highlander, a 9v9 consisting of one of every class. Right now, undoubtedly Sixes is the more popular form of competitive, and for the most part is better in a myriad of ways. Not only for the people playing the actual match itself, but for the people on the outside watching the game. Sixes is usually a much easier format to wrap your head around than the 9v9 that is Highlander. Highlander, or 9v9, can be a huge clusterfuck sometimes, and for the most part, the game is focused on making specialist classes as generalist as possible. For example, you'll see items such as the gloves of running urgently or the gunslinger being run a lot. Items that try to speed up the pace of the game and make the classes that equip them more applicable in situations they were not originally designed for. I'm not trying to say that Highlander is bad, by all means it is still a very good competitive style of play. The point I'm trying to get across is that Sixes format is just a better style to go through as the consistency is firmly planted in the ground. It just has an amazing balance of defending, attacking, pushes, excitement, and high-intensity moments, but it also works better in a game mode due to the high amount of team coordination and mechanical skill required to play. While Highlander does require a similar level of skill, due to the lower class number, picks are much more important and individual player skill is highly required. This is also one of the reasons I like the game a lot more than, say, Overwatch. In Overwatch, the mechanical skill required to play is very low, and certain mechanics are so baby-proof that it'd be really difficult to mess it up. We can save the objective skill ceiling for a different video. I'll just leave you with this link for now that shows you some examples on why TF2 might require more objective skill than Overwatch. Now, don't take this as the end-all be-all for Sixes versus Highlander, because at the end of the day, it's just a lot of my own opinion. I just wanted to show people how quickly someone can change a class and a playstyle so quickly. Mindsets can change and people can see things that they would not have thought to take a closer look at. Take this as it is, just someone else's opinion. Whether or not you want to look at things differently, that's up for you to decide.